South Africa, the undisputed leader in African environmental management, boasts an increase of more than 3,000% in wildlife numbers in just 60 years. Its vibrant game management industry now offers the opportunity to students from all over the world to broaden their horizons and create an informed basis for future career options. EcoLife practical courses were developed by Professor Wouter van Woefen of the Center for Wildlife Management at the University of Pretoria, and presents an opportunity for international students to also experience Africa's wildlife and the management of biodiversity and veterinary challenges. 2 8-credit courses, the EcoLife Wildlife Management and EcoLife Vets in the Wild, are offered by the Center for Wildlife Management. The realities of rural life in Africa are light years away from the developed world, and EcoLife students are introduced to bucolic Africa by assisting non-profit organization CLAW to care for pets of people from disadvantaged communities. This serves to expose students to township pet life and to gain experience in treating animals under supervision, and provides a service to the community that they would otherwise not get or may not be able to afford. However, not everyone always appreciates the care they receive. The basic principles of wildlife management and wilderness ecology involve expertise to track animals. The Loskop and Balule Reserve offer the ideal environment where these skills can be honed. This includes ways to determine the freshness of a spoor that enables wildlife managers to establish the movement of scarce or endangered animals. EcoLife involves professionals, people who are enthusiastic to share their knowledge with students, and even the smaller creatures of this reserve do not go unnoticed. Golden baboon spiders lose their nest-building abilities after completion of their first home. Loskop also offers the opportunity to students to get close to charismatic animals, such as the endangered white rhino, an experience very few will ever forget. In the dark waters of the Loskop Reservoir, a shy character resides. Nile crocodiles have become synonymous with African rivers and lakes, and students are afforded the opportunity to learn more about the challenges that these reptiles face in the wild. With natural habitats under constant pressure, conflict between people and wildlife creates a need for specialist care for injured or orphaned animals. South Africa has several wildlife rehab centers that play a very important role in providing this service, and Moholoholo is one of the leaders in this field. Here, students learn the inner workings of such centers where animals are treated to recovery and possible reintroductions into the wild. Students are also familiarized to the care and feeding of animals in need. Africa has its fair share of reptiles, from the sluggish-looking but potentially deadly puff adder to the sleek black mamba. At the Kamai Reptile Center, students are not only introduced to some spectacular snakes, but also get the opportunity to dissect some roadkills. In South Africa's flagship game reserve, the Kruger National Park, students are exposed to the finer details of a game ranger's work. In this massive area, animals are free roaming, and disease control includes the inspection of animals that perished. This enables wildlife managers to prevent the spread of potentially fatal outbreaks. One of the major threats are wildfires, and students are also introduced to management practices that enable game rangers to apply effective control measures. Poaching poses a real threat to Africa's wildlife, and coordination of ground personnel and air patrols is very much a part of the game ranger's responsibilities. Game capture has developed into a fine art with minimum mortalities, and South Africa is the undisputed leader in this field. Students get hands-on experience as they are involved in the intricacies of this industry. Lectures supply an in-depth background on game capture drugs and antidotes that are administered to counter the effects of these chemicals. The value of this lies in the practical experience gained as students actively participate in real capture operations, including aftercare once the animal has been immobilized until it is securely placed in a crate before being woken up. To bring practice to the theory, students are given the opportunity to fire darts at a moving man-made target from a helicopter. Predator breeding practices are highly controversial, as very few, if any of them, would ever be released successfully back in the wild. The intricacies of breeding and raising large cats form part of the course, as students get the opportunity to experience firsthand how to handle small lion cubs. Walking with lions serves the purpose to introduce students to the secrets of lion behavior. Practical information on how to treat these animals to prevent one from becoming a big cat's toy includes always maintaining a higher stance to them when one of these predators is in the vicinity. Here, respect for lions forms the basis of the learning experience while offering the chance to come to close quarters with these magnificent animals. The controversies surrounding elephants in southern Africa have its basis in the fact that the majority of informed environmentalists and game rangers believe that their numbers exceed available conservation space. These pachyderms are destructive feeders, and this often results in the disappearance of large trees. A number of scarce bird species that need large trees to nest are affected. The Hensman family has a great passion for these massive animals, and at Zabula, students get the opportunity to come in real close contact with elephants. Several lectures supply background information and emphasize the challenges that these animals face on a continent with an ever-shrinking suitable habitat. The Zabula elephants were earmarked to be culled, but Mr. Hensman decided to take several of them under his wing. Elephants can identify individual people, a feat illustrated when handlers tell them to present specific items to certain students. And they are not reluctant to supply a good blast of elephant skincare. Mr. Hensman and his family have also proved that elephants are excellent trackers, and while they follow the spoor of two of the staff members who hide amongst some thick growth, students have the opportunity to hitch a ride. Sondela is normally the last visiting point. This wildlife rehab center also involves the successful breeding and hand-rearing of a number of species.
Come this way.
Final lectures summarize the course and are followed by a written test. Then it is time for goodbyes in the heart of the African bush. More than 2,000 students have benefited from the EcoLife experience during the past decade alone, and it has helped them to make important career choices.
It really has sort of awakened my interest in African wildlife.
It broadened my my knowledge in the not medical side of the wildlife vet, like with the just knowing how to handle animals and what to do in the bush.
It's really been one of the best experiences I've ever had.
This experience was greater than anything that I could have ever imagined.
The trip has inspired me to be a wildlife vet and to come back and do all these things again.
For me, personally, I came on this trip because I wasn't sure what sort of field I wanted to go into once I graduate. It was a toss-up between large animals and wildlife, and I think this trip has really clarified in my mind that I do actually want to work with wildlife when I finish.